You know, back when we started these, I used to come up with clever intros.
Yeah.
For like 10 episodes, and then I gave up.
Anybody that's watching that's left is like, yeah, well, they weren't that clever. Oh, dear. Well, we're back. We've at least improved from where we were. I feel better going into this one. I feel like we actually made some progress. So.
Yeah, well, don't jinx it. Simmering contempt for architects. Not even architects. One specific architect.
Care to share?
I don't, because I don't want to get sued. I'm just saying. I understand where the whole engineer versus architect feud comes from.
Oh, I see. Like within your job, you're saying. I was like, get sued. What are you on about?
It was just how
We've said lots of things we could get sued for.
You'll have to narrow that down. I'm just saying. I don't know why I felt the need to bring it up. It was just how I ended the last 3 hours of my workday was.
It's still emotionally raw for you.
Yeah, it was really annoying.
Well, what is the difference? Care to enlighten us?
An architect is an engineer who is bad at math.
Or it just at least uses fuzzy math rather than...
No.
No.
There was the other joke amongst engineering students is that if you were interested in engineering but you weren't any good at it, you'd go into industrial engineering. Now, I don't know about that.
That one I can actually attest to because I worked with civil engineers and they're ridiculous.
Well, that's not the same thing. Civil engineers probably are smarter.
Civil engineers... I wouldn't go that far.
Well, because civil engineer, I imagine...
I remind you, civil engineers are the reason why we have roads that make zero sense.
No, it's probably not even their fault, though, because probably they're just doing the best they can with, someone's like, what did the surveyor give us?
Well, that's true. Because
I don't know. Oh, you can't go doing things like that. Now all the mics are off.
Off access. Okay.
Because I imagine that civil people are probably a little more on the, shall we say, what's a polite way to put it?
Anal.
Yes, that side of the spectrum, because it's a lot more like civil engineering is very rules intensive.
Yeah, but you'd think that, but they're weird on dumb things.
Well, yeah, but have you actually dealt with civil engineers, or have you dealt with just busybody middle management?
Oh no. I've dealt directly with the civil engineers because I put myself in a position you're getting
yourself into something.
I don't want to get myself into anything.
Can you get yourself out of something?
How can I get?
You're stumbling home after a night out, is what it looks like.
Well, there's
the barfly. Beer goggles really kicked in, and then you got home and you looked at that, and it was brown and prickly.
That's what I was married to.
Woke up in Vegas next to that. Don't make me start this. I was wanting you to start.
No, I actually, because of the fact that the way I did my job corrected some of those dumb middlemen that had no idea what they were talking about.
Yeah, but see, are those the civil engineers or are they just the middlemen?
No. So I then moved up to the civil engineers, and they were ridiculous in a different way because...
But were they ridiculous in a, we have to do this in exactly the right kind of way, or were they just... Because I can almost forgive that. Because they're at least basing their stuff off of actual rules.
I suppose it was.
Whereas architects don't even know what they're talking about.
It was more their requirement to balance everything with TxDOT, and that becomes
but that's government.
Hairy.
At that point, it was the government's fault.
Well, that's true. But what else?
Okay, are you gonna? How about you get all that out of your system first, because you're gonna mess up mine every time you do that. We still don't have Thrak on our team. We got a new guy named Ogbur.
Ogbur the Shadow. Where's the grog that just killed me? He's somewhere.
Maybe he's this guy.
I should probably pronounce that.
Hoshkrish! I forgot about Hoshkrish. We're getting him.
The grog. Because if I just call him a grog... This grog killed you. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was that night out, I tell you.
Yeah.
That wasn't actually a topic I wanted to launch into. I just wanted to get it off my chest.
I think the biggest problem with all engineers that have to work within government work is they're just mostly
soulless.
No, they get to the point that they're just feckless. They just don't care.
That's the same thing, though.
I'm sure. I mean, it's
they got the cushy government security job, and they don't have to try anymore.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have to try anymore.
It's just like, I'm getting paid no matter what I do. I mean, if you can get it, I suppose it makes sense. But the rest of us don't
rabble of non.
But see, the architects don't have an excuse. They're just like, but I want it that way. You know, the engineers, presumably the civil engineer probably has some reason.
What is the motivation?
It might be really nitpicky, where it's like, oh well, actually, of course, we got to base it off of this code year.
Wow.
Section C17.
You're really not showing your kind very well.
But well, I'm not civil, so. Well, hello. Attract him? What do I do to attract him? Do I caress his broad shoulders? Hey there, big boy.
That one caught me off guard.
You going my way?
What's your sign?
How do I? Is this attractive to you? What am I doing? Hey, he's implacable. He won't. He's too depressed.
Hey, big mama, can I whisper in your ear?
He's too depressed to be seduced. Yeah, with architects, though, they're just like, well, actually, I just want it that way, and I don't have any reason. There's no code. It's literally just, I like the way that looks better.
But
it's like, okay, but that's going to cost us
like
3 times as much to do, and you didn't specify that very clearly.
And they do that intentionally just to say, yeah, I want to.
I've never thought that before until the guy I was dealing with today. I was like, okay, I actually think you do just enjoy.
Like he wants to spend.
You just enjoy making us waste our time.
That's dumb.
But anyways, that wasn't actually what I was getting on about. I just wanted to...
Well, I am certainly tired about people not taking responsibility. That gets old really quick.
Oh, I'm just going all sorts of wrong ways.
Yep, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had an academic topic if you want to ease into it, or we could rip the Band-Aid right off and you can get into your therapy.
Let's academic it up, because I actually just jumped into the We Who Wrestle with God. I'm not sure if you started it yet.
I have not started it yet. I was not going that deep with it, but...
It is so exciting to see. It's so... He saw you coming, and he's still let you...
Was this attractive?
Cover his mouth.
Is this attractive to you?
Shh, just let it happen. He just...
In the bum. That's attractive for you.
He felt
right up there, too.
I want some too. You got any more of those arrows there, Ranger?
Oh, I know.
Anyway, I have been nothing short of delighted at the.
How far have you gotten through it?
It's not been very far. However,
but you're already delighted.
The tone and the pacing and everything just feels perfect on a theological level. As somebody who has studied theology my entire life, it's refreshing to see someone who's not in that field do so well at biblical.
Went the worst possible way. That was right here, basically.
What's the word for it?
It's not ontology. That was the word you helped me out with earlier this week.
No, it's oh, the name is escaping me. That's weird because it's in my field of study.
There's our boy.
Hoshgrish.
Hoshkosh Gorbash. What has he got around his jock strap?
It's one of those shirts from the 90s from Hoshkosh Bagosh.
Why is he wearing that around his jock strap?
I don't know. It's his thing.
He had a hard night coming home from the bar too last night.
He put it on,
grabbed his clothes, had to get out in a hurry, put them on backwards. You are blind.
As long as he's covering his dead.
I mean, I suppose I should be glad that he is. Hi everyone, you don't see me. That took him down by half. Hi.
Oh, he's a runner. Oh.
The best you can do. You're a lot better at sneaking than you are at stabbing.
How about this?
The strategy is flawed.
What?
He talked some smack. I shot him point blank with an arrow.
Hang on.
He was like,
Make sure that he doesn't escape because he's retreating. It
no,
says.
yeah, well, he not very well. He isn't. He's getting hacked up, is what he is. He's a me. Oh, he's Teddy Roosevelt. How many more of those are we gonna have? We had Teddy Roosevelt. Andrew Jackson, I bet, is immune to execution.
There you go. There you go.
Suck his brains. No, not your brains. His brains.
Run.
Whose
He's running.
boons? Your boons. Get back here. How do I Sonic it up?
You gotta hold down the. There you go. Run.
What? Oh, I can suck him from a distance. I should pluck that beard.
Trim that scraggly beard. It's
Oshkrish.
Wow. What is
All right.
exegesis? No, the
What about
the amount of salient exegesis that he does, as well as
Is it exegesis?
yeah, exegesis.
That sounds silly though. I don't know why. I've never known how it's spelled.
Well,
or how it's
exegetical is what you. I mean,
or
but
exegesis. I don't know.
no, it's exegesis. But the
You want him to kill anybody? He's too low level to kill most.
This is the part that most theologians I feel like I take issue with, because you have two different camps within theology. You have the biblical theologians who say, everything has to be back to the original text, which I can appreciate because of the whole sola scriptura thing. But the problem is they negate, or even I would say almost to the point that it overshadows entirely church history. And you and I have talked about this, where it's like, well, church history has to also have its place, because there's a reality of how some of those scriptures have even survived the test of time was because of the fact that they had to be held up against high degrees of scrutiny. And so it's a both and this is why I consider myself to be a systematic theologian, where yes, I want to take everything back to the biblical text, but then I want to synthesize it into a place that makes sense. And I feel like Jordan, given that he's not specifically a theologian by trade, now I would say he has become one, but he does that so well. Like, there's a part in which even I, as a theological study major and master's degree, and I was sitting there going, whoa, he just connected something that I was like, that is intense. Like, that's a really, really, like, he took something from the Greek, which I knew the word for, but I never specifically connected it the way that he did. So I'm literally not even into the first chapter. It's literally like a prelogue or a prologue that he calls, oh gosh, I can't remember what he titled it. It's basically like the spirit of
Help out Ukabook.
but it's fascinating. You can just tell he's really genuinely had an experience with it that made it so much more rooted. If that makes
I think you
sense.
can tell that just from his other works.
Right.
All right.
So anyway, sorry.
I wasn't going nearly that deep.
Well, I'm just saying that it's a teaser because I'm interested in
I
what
wanted
you
to
guys
talk
think about the
about
book.
the ontological differences of certain various forms of media and art.
Describe what you mean by median.
Well, I'll start in the specific, and we'll broaden it out. As all,
You know, buddy, you're trying a little too hard to look like the Witch King, and it's
he's
bothering me.
what is it? Flattery and sycophantism.
He's a sycophant.
Flattery is the greatest form of butt licking.
Butt licking.
I don't know. Execute him. So as most, who's you? What?
Betrayal? What?
You... And he's high level now because I just leveled you up. I spent money on you.
Okay, pal.
I'll deal with you in a second. I'm literally in the middle of helping you. That doesn't... Look, I should... Get out of here for a second. I'm just going to kill this guy.
Suck his face.
No, I'll suck this guy first.
That's what I just said.
No, I don't want this guy, though. I'm just going to kill him. I'm going to kill him, and then I'm going to suck what's-his-head back into line and say, excuse you.
How about you?
Yeah, I will. Okay, then. Now you. This is what's coming, pal.
Well, I think you should just take him out.
Nah. No, the mission's not over. I've got a subordinate to whoop. I've got a child to discipline here.
That. I think you can.
You get back here. Okay. You're 5 points. No chance. Screw you. He's 5 points leveled up because I paid for that. Feel like a grandparent to a trust fund kid. You only got those levels because I paid for them.
I can't help but feel like he just needs to be. That this is a rest in peace moment. This is not.
Yeah, but Hoshgrish is a great name.
So what?
I'll break his will.
Okay.
I think we ought, let's shame him, and then make him our fish. That's a better term.
Our fish.
Skak versus Muzu. Uh-oh. Good on you, Skak. See, now it's more fun that we've got some guys on our team. We get to cheer some guys on. Bolg succeeded at something. Nobody actually cares. Well, Hoshgrish is
I'm about to bring you
disappointing.
down to such a low level that.
Hang on. One of our guys. I think one of our guys is now on the tower.
Oh.
It looked like it
let's look.
was. I'm very annoyed with you, dude. Who's that guy? He looks like ours. Wrong! Perfect! There's no one better!
Wrong. Is he the one that saved us so many times?
Well, no. He's the one who killed us so many times. And then we finally got him, and now he's our bodyguard, and now he's great. Good on you, Ronk. That's a narrative arc. Hoshgrish needs his own narrative arc.
Yeah, I'm about to give him an arc.
I'm going to give him an arc that'll come out the rest of his nose. Shove it in, and just see where it comes back.
He's gonna get his back arced.
Oh dear, that's too much.
No, it's not enough. I don't take kindly to betrayal, and that's the one thing.
I don't either, but I also am a semi-divine spirit. Like, I'm gonna toy with this fella. I'm above vengeance.
Well, okay.
I'm just about torture.
That's the awfully pragmatic approach. I
No, it's
suppose.
not. It's like I'm beyond vengeance. I'm just gonna make your life. I'm gonna turn you.
Hello,
I'm
little
gonna
buddy.
let's just shame him until he's a mute retard. You can do that in this game. There's people who've made compilations of like if you take a high level guy and shame him all the way to 0, they often like their mind breaks and they just like wander around making gibbering noises.
What?
So it's like if you keep this up, Hoshgrish, I'll grish your Hosh.
I won't kill you. I'll just make you such an idiot that
I will shame you into I don't know. I forgot the term. I'll turn your brain to jelly. Anyways, so, as with most things lately, this was of course prompted by thinking about Arcane.
Well,
Because the question I have is,
what just occurred?
well, apparently you're not interested.
Sorry,
You just
I do have to.
no. I'm saying you're not. It's like the fact that you're like, what just occurred, and then you ran away. Hoshgrish the traitor. Yeah, that's true. Hang on, was that his name originally?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say we probably should have known if his name was Hoshgrish the traitor.
Okay.
Well, I mean that's a fair name. Let's call him Hoshgrish the whooped. Hoshgrish the cuckold when I'm done with him. Anyways.
Wow. You thought I went too far before? Carve up your rear and call you Mahalo. Nope.
He wants to be called Mahalo. Because the question I have is thus: what would you call? I mean, this is a broader question, but I mean, this is why it started with Arcane, and then I realized that. I guess I'll just get to the point. No beating around the bush. I don't. Would you call it a TV show, or would you just call it a show? Because that's very vague. But TV show doesn't feel right because it's not on TV. And then it occurred to me, what would you call it? And not just that, but anything in that category. Because, like, Because the reason I was thinking it is because what is the category of that kind of thing? Because, for example, like the art form of movies, you'd usually call like cinema or cinematography or like. So if you're trying to praise a movie you think is really good, you could call it like something like you might call it the height of cinema or something like that, masterpiece of cinema. What would you call something that is a masterpiece of
Production?
TV show? Well, yeah, but that can be anything. Anything can be a masterpiece
Yeah,
of
but I
production.
would go that far. I mean, I would use that.
Well, I mean, I would in the case of Arcane. I've actually said basically it's one of the best pieces of art, full stop, that I've come across.
I don't
of any
know.
media.
Yeah,
But
media.
But to
art,
be
yes.
but to be more specific, if you wanted to say it's a great example of,
There you are, you little
would you say like television?
sook.
Because that's what back in the day you would have called it, like because it would have been on TV. But given that the age of TV is kind of past, I don't know what the art form is anymore. I'm just annoyed that he's now 5 levels higher, 7 levels higher than
How
when
would
we
I
grabbed
do
him.
this the best?
I'd start with a scalpel to the bridge of the nose, and then maybe some.
Oh, not him, you dipstick!
Maybe some sewing needles under the fingernails after that.
All of you are getting spanked.
Challenge me again. This time at the feast, honoring me for killing you.
Oh,
I'll say one thing. You've got guts. Let's tear 'em
well,
out.
apparently I didn't
I'll
realize he
say
was having
another
a
thing,
feast.
Hoshgrish. It's not guts I've got. It's stones that you can't imagine
I don't actually have guts. I'm a
Until they're-
decomposing corpse.
until they're inside your brain.
You cut me open and I'm just full of mulch. Guys coming up. Oh, there you go.
All of you guys are getting beyond spanked. It's spanked.
Super ultra mega
spanked from the
spanked.
front. Do you see that guy? I just okay.
That's what we call a head spanking.
Nope, not today, pal. Get over there. I'm not done with you yet.
So this has been what I've been thinking about the past couple of days because I don't know
Nope.
what you call that. What even? Because the problem is, I don't even. It's like I don't like the term TV show, and yet it's the only thing I can think of. Or calling it the entire genre of. It's not even a genre. Let's see. This is why I was thinking about the. I was trying to find the word ontological. Because I knew that was like a branch of philosophy that I was describing. Because essentially, what my question is, how do you define different categories of art? And in this case, it's like, what's the characteristics of, for lack of a better term, TV shows that separate them from movies? And how would you best? How could you come up with a better name for them than TV shows, since that no longer really fits? He's retreating again.
Tide has turned. Retreat and live to fight again.
No,
I think not. pal.
not at all. Don't let him. You're gonna have to be careful because anytime one of those other guys comes at you, he's gonna probably just run away. Execute. I forgot. Yeah, see, nice. He's gonna use his guys to run away. Get him! Get him! Get him!
How do I suck his brain?
You had it. Come on. There you go.
I'm just gonna lower his health. 'cause-
Well, if you can recruit him, or should we shame him? No, let's shame him for the sake of it.
Well,
It's a matter of precedent.
I agree, but at the same time, I worry that.
We'll just have to do it again.
Yeah,
I mean, you can try recruiting him again, but I feel like
he's going to sleep. I just hold him for a little.
I
bit.
feel like he needs some. There needs to be some repercussions.
Well, you can. Sure, we'll just make him do the dirty work. He's going to be the throwaway patsy.
I guess, or he might. Oh,
I will be your chosen.
you ain't my chosen pal. Not anymore. I had a
Stay
nice
and
cushy.
fight. Yeah, stay and fight for me.
I had a
Great.
nice cushy seat I was going to use
Take,
for
take
you.
everybody out that was supposed to be here for me, because you deserve that. Beat every single one of these.
I don't even know what the statistics, like what part of the code is at work when he just decides to betray you after one mission. Like, because we've had guys betray us before, but that was usually because we made a fool of ourselves and got whooped by another guy. It's like, okay, that makes sense.
Well, it's probably built into his.
Whereas he was literally like,
Okay,
we were in the middle of a mission helping
I feel
him.
like I've really come back into my own with this because I'm no longer taking. I'm cashing.
You're not
forget cashing checks.
You've swapped it around. You're kicking names and taking butts.
Nope.
Does that mean our butts? Can I use mine one last time? Where's your fella? You just gonna let him die?
Yeah, not me.
I don't think you want to let him die. We spent all that effort. Oh, he's doing fine. He's doing fine. Let him take his licks.
That's what I'm saying. It's just it's a jumping, and I'm making them do it for me.
Fair enough. Do you see my predicament, or do you think I'm being a little bit too semantic? Well, now they're fighting you. You gotta get them back to fighting him.
Yeah, I'm having fun. Just hucking knives and.
Yeah, but now the punishment's not really punishing. I didn't know this counted towards your combo. I should have done this a lot. Oh, you got someone shooting stuff behind you.
Yeah, I'll deal with him later. I'm so over this. I'm not even.
Well, if you wanted to cheat for getting a high combo score, this would be the way. Oh, never mind.
Oh,
So I told you someone's shooting at you from behind.
I know. Oh, hey, hi. Off with his head and your head as well.
So, because semantics was the original
You know-
word I was thinking I was talking about, because it's a definitional question, but I think it's more than just how do you define it. It's like what actually makes
Who
it.
are you, pal? You're the one that's causing all the issues.
Elven Rage!
Rage you right onto the pavement.
I think you lost it though. Ooh!
I assure you, I have gained it.
I am more than I ever was. You haven't answered my question.
So what do I classify it as? I don't know.
Do you even think it's a problem? Is this just me being pedantic, or? Because I think it's. Because the only term I've ever heard used for it is you call it like television. Use like, what is good television? That's something you would like. A show that you thought was good, you would refer to as good television.
Yeah.
As in, you're saying it's not just a good thing in and of itself, it's a good example of the art form of television. But I don't think that's the right name for the art form anymore. Because that's not what it is.
That's why I say it's kind of a
But there's nothing else.
Okay.
Oh, has he finally knocked you off? You're going to knock him off.
Do something. Get him off somehow.
Is something coming off?
I'm getting off. Yes, you, pal.
You're next.
Wow. Took you long enough. Okay.
You're getting yourself
I am
shot.
getting
Whoa, who's got the
absolutely
Gatling
ganked,
arrows?
And I have no idea
Someone's
why.
got the Gatling crossbow.
I'm out of here. You amateurs. Why is it?
Drain Uruks for health.
Sure, let's do that. How do I do that? Where do I do that?
I don't know.
Right here?
How do I drain the Uruk? Ooh, hello. Asgrels.
2K. What is this? What is happening here?
Apparently you're fighting this
Draw
guy.
out this guy. Oh, yeah. No, that's the other outpost leader. I don't feel like we're ready for that. I'm not doing
Oh,
that.
you were just talking a big game about how well you're doing. Hello. Just gonna let him live.
I don't care
You can spread the message.
about how I'm no longer anybody's patsy. Get up, you absolute sook.
You party animal, you.
Party animal, you. What is over here?
I don't know. Do you
Other
even
than the
care?
Karagor ripping people to shreds. I'm seeing something interesting.
You're the one controlling. That's me. So
Anyway.
let's go on an ontological expedition here.
Okay.
Because I was thinking about it, how would you define a, for lack of a better term, TV show as separate from a movie? Because both, you could argue,
Film.
the same
versus-
medium is at play because they're both,
Yes,
strictly
but I
speaking,
would
motion
say-
picture in the
But I would say
strictest definition.
no, because motion picture typically refers to a full motion picture.
Well, but see,
which would be-
yes, but I think that's more. I don't think it does. I don't think it has to by definition. Why did you do that now? There's no one around you. Just so I could. He's just walking menacingly.
ragingly. Okay, what is this?
Just imagine guy just fuming walking across a field.
The Etten.
Oh yeah, so this is us attacking this fortress. Do we want to do that now?
Grave
Assault force level 92.
Oh.
So we're laying siege to this tower.
Yeah, but see, this is they're at a 108. That's going to be a little.
That's
bit.
not too much higher. The real and that's Ronk. Well, Ronk is one of our guys. He's infiltrated. I would recommend maybe infiltrating the other guy first too, though,
Yeah.
because there's obviously the guy at the top of the tower. We don't even know who he is, but if we have the two underlings under our belt, then I think we have a good chance. So,
All right. Well, what's next?
put someone, oust the other underboss.
Well, that was the.
No, go to the army again, because Ronk's in one of those tower positions. Who's the other guy?
So he's now on.
Ashgarn. Oh, but I liked Ashgarn. I want the Ashcan. See if you can just grab him. He's only level 23. His bodyguards are higher level than him.
Who?
Him, Ashcan.
Well, that's the guy that.
Let's see
See if I can grab him.
Yeah, see, why not? Because then we'll have the two fort bosses or whatever their positions are under our control. And then when we attack the main shadowy guy, he looks tough.
Sure.
That's an orc with mutton chops. Come on. And his name is Ashcan.
Okay, so this is what I was seeing before.
Apparently. Oh no, that's the mission right there. Ashcan's apparently close by. Rampage.
Rampage Jackson is, but he looks like.
What?
That's never mind. If you watch UFC, you would get that because it's
Rampage
actually
Jackson?
he looks very similar.
Okay. All the more.
All right. I guess
So
we're
he's
gonna do
considered
it.
a war chief. I don't know what the
How
other
would
guy
I?
is.
How do I call out my guy? Oh, I hate
Out
these.
of their cages, and he too will come out.
Well, that's not that hard to do.
I have a
So,
feeling I'm gonna have
because
to.
I was looking into some of the etymology of these terms. Because, for example, I was saying just a little bit ago that cinema is a term that usually refers to the art of films in general. But strictly speaking, cinema comes from cinematography, which literally means, in like the Greek, it literally means capturing or recording motion. And technically, any form of film would do that. TV and television or full-length movies. They're both based off of that principle of, you play a sequence of still images fast enough to create the illusion of motion and thus tell a story. So they're not actually really that different. It's mostly just like they're the same basic thing. That's why I feel like the phrase motion picture, it's like I don't think it has to mean. I don't think that necessarily refers to how long the motion picture is, because any motion picture is a motion picture, even if it's short.
Okay.
Unless you had a more succinct term, but I don't know that there is one. But because
I'd like to point out.
what?
Yeah.
Point out what?
I think it's a bit of a if I can compare the two, because you're talking about oh, okay, that was not what I wanted to do. Now I've ruined my it's a bit of what you were questioning when it comes to ontology versus metaphysics, because metaphysics is obviously the broader category.
That's not,
So I would say that that film, or that media, or I guess motion picture to me refers to the whole category, whereas cinema to me would be something specifically related to the actual movie. versus.
Yeah,
a
I'm just
TV
saying
show.
that the term cinema, when viewed etymologically, does not refer to how long the thing is. Any sequence of moving images would be considered cinema because it's cinematography, as in literally recorded motion. So a short film versus a longer film are all cinema because they're all, and even a TV show would technically freaking be cinema. Now the term has evolved since its original use, and now basically refers to long. Here's my definition. If I and it's going to come across probably as very dry, but the distinguishing factors between a show versus a movie are, I think, A, that a movie is self-contained, and that it's longer form. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah.
So a film or a movie or whatever you want to call it is sort of self-contained long-form cinematography or motion picture, whatever you want to call it. And by contrast, a TV show is short form and serialized.
Yes, that I agree with.
But then that raises the question of how did you is there any kind of term we could give that would encapsulate that sufficiently? And the other reason I'm thinking about this,
series versus.
well, you could call it a series. That's true, but that
I
can
would
call
say
anything a
series is
series.
probably but I would say
you have a
no,
series of baseball cards. I mean,
or a
it's-
series of movies, I suppose.
well,
but
now
I
that
mean,
does raise the question. Like technically speaking, films can be parts of series, but even when films are parts of series, individual installments are more self-contained.
Yeah, that's true.
Like a sequel to a movie is still a more self-contained thing than one episode of a bunch of TV episodes. Like that one episode is going to be far more dependent on the rest.
just ruined everything
Why?
because I pushed him off, and then he's gonna go. And
Oh, yeah, as if everybody here doesn't already know you're here.
I don't think they do.
I'm not as convinced. You only got to let out 3 more.
I'm not as convinced. I've been stealthy this whole
You've
time.
been- you were fumbling around on the ground a few minutes ago.
I refuse to.
I refuse to comment on that on the grounds that you're right.
No.
I was about to say, you're about to prove my point. Oh, it's Martin Luther. See, a highbrow joke.
Oh, that's what you. Okay.
Nuts, champion nuts. You're just going to do it twice in a row. It's the Kirigor centipede. Ooh. So that's, yes, you could call it a series, or I mean, but that to me is about as vague as calling it a show. Because that's the thing, you could just remove the word TV. Ash cans arrived.
My claw is here, ready to face whoever dares draw me out. Show yourself, so we can end this.
Oh, his bodyguard's over there. We didn't think about that. We probably should have still replaced one of his bodyguards or something. Then again, you've got a bodyguard too.
Well, that and I can. Yeah, I was about to say I can call them. So I mean.
You're right. So you could just remove the word TV and just call it a show, and people would still know what you mean.
Yeah, but show feels a little bit.
Well, it's very generic. But if you were to say,
Prosaic.
if you were to say to someone, "Hey, I was watching a show last night," they would know what you meant.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
But it isn't a very
cheapens it in my opinion.
well, sure.
Show
But it also is like
feels
that,
crude by comparison to what Arcane
because it's just
actually
very
is.
well, okay. That's not my point. Is like I'm not trying to big up Arcane by coming up with a unique term that only it uses. That was just the catalyst that made me think about this.
Oh,
that
get back up
I
there,
think
you
any form of TV show, like it deserves the category itself. I think needs a better name, regardless of how good the
What
show is.
is he?
He's over there now.
I know, but I'm trying to
What are you? Well, I don't know what you're trying to do.
jump.
You're going to kill the wrong
Of course
guy.
I do, because I always do.
I think that was one of the bodyguards.
My claw, here I am. I hope I don't let you down. All your hard work to draw me out should be repaid in pain. Lots of pain.
He's got lots of kunais. He's a weeb. Actually, now that I think about it, is a kunai a Japanese weapon or a Chinese weapon?
Kunai is a.
Is he a weeb or is he the other kind?
Return from the dark embrace. I will gladly.
I think
shut
we
your
might have bitten
eyes
off. Get
again
your guys
and
out.
send you back.
And also your reinforcements.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you need your reinforcements. You done did it wrong.
I pushed A. That was ridiculous.
I don't want to do this. I'm talking about
I
art.
thought that should have been the most brilliant.
It should have been me.
Scoff.
You're walking out with me.
I thought I got into ska when I first heard my first ska song. Seems like that would happen.
Yeah.
So, because you could also, like, if you were to say to someone, "Oh, we're going to see a show this weekend," that isn't as clear. They might think that could mean you're going to an actual
Like an
theater
actual
to see
physical show.
something.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's not that show. My point isn't that there isn't a term to describe, because obviously people know what you mean when you say show. I'm just saying I wish there was a term that better suited the category of thing. And I don't know what that would be. The thing that made me, the other thing I was thinking about, in light of this sort of whole topic, is the fact that, let's see if I can just get one of these guys in there. See, the problem is, Hoshgrish is leveled up now. I'm going to send him in here. Wait, hang on. Clear target. No, command. That's what I want.
Hoshgrish.
Yeah, that. There we go. He's going to have to prove himself in a fight. Cool.
We should probably get some of these no names figured out.
Now, can I command one of my low-level guys to be a bodyguard to one of these other guys? Guess I can't.
Ronk.
No. He's trying to make it all fancy French sounding. Ronk. Booth. Ska. Who's this guy? Muzu.
Get
Mugu
him.
Guy Pan.
We're gonna get some of the hidden gems that we
Oh.
don't know about yet.
Well, then let me get some
Might as well
intel.
take some moments. Well, we don't even know if we need intel. We just rush in like a.
I won't know where they are. I gotta know who they are before I just go plowing into them.
No, you don't. I don't care your name. I've got a sword, and your anus has its
Doesn't
name
have
on it.
doesn't have a sword in it. I've got a sword, and your anus doesn't.
I've got a sword. You got a hole, matey.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Oh dear.
There's 3 bits of intel. I've got a lovely bunch of intel. They are standing in a row. Oh, okay. There's more than just intel down here. Nobody sees. Nobody knows. Yes, they all
I feel
do.
like that's the one bit of intel you're gonna get.
No, I'll get it. Who's you? Or Eden? Ooh, something about your face makes me unsettled. Why do you look like a Sumerian statue?
See, I was thinking more like Asian except for big. He's like an Asian Samoan.
I'm pretty sure Samoans are still Asians.
No.
Don't they count as like Pacific Island? Isn't Pacific Islanders sort of?
isn't Asian either.
It's Southeast Asian.
Maybe if you're Fijian, but
Okay. So he's Fijian.
so he's Fijian. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna get more intel. Get
They're
back.
all just scrambling like roaches. That was hilarious.
Get back here with your intel. Bring me my intel. Bring your pretty intel to my face. Oh, he's gone. He's been eaten by a Karagor. No,
Nope, there's one over there. Nope, to the left.
he was last seen sprinting into the woods over there. I think this is the same guy.
Please don't, no, not again. Don't
All right, who's you?
don't stick your finger in my nose again.
I already thought we had a.
Guru.
We already had a Gura, and he looks dumber.
He's no.
I say no to you. You got crappy intel. Fine, go learn about some better captains. Ooh, spewing earth anus. That's the other captain I want to talk to.
No, that was the orc band they tried to start.
Any of you got intel? Yep. I see intel. Get back here.
Hiding brain.
Carry on. You're not intel. Carry on my thought for me. Oh, okay. This will be harder than I thought. This could be a little difficult to negotiate. Get back with my intel. I don't care. Oh, okay. Never mind. Intel conga line. Intel conga.
I mean,
me all your
I would,
intel.
if it
Give
were
me all
me,
your
I would say
intel.
series is the best representation of.
But
what
anything
Arcane
can be
would
a series. Ushak,
Yeah, but I feel like
Shadrach, Ushak, and Abednego.
long shot.
Ushak, Longshank.
I don't think long shot is what you need to have your name be, pal.
I don't know. There's a joke about Ushak, but it won't reveal itself to me yet. There's a pun to be made. I just can't think of it. Hi there. No, no, no. Come back here. You know what I want.
All right, so
Series
now
just
we've
it's
got
similar to show in that it's just not very specific. Norsko. I'm okay with Norsko. I don't love his look. He looks a bit larpy,
yeah,
but
in kind of an interesting.
he was in a metal band in high
he's-
school.
He's a charming LARP.
He's really a teddy bear under all the goth makeup. Okay, we'll give Norsko a chance. All right, get out of here.
Beat it! All right, let's go get.
So, but see, series I don't
Norsko.
think is right. Now, here's I'll bring up an example. Would you stop doing that? Here's the example.
Would you allow me to explain?
Because this has already happened with the comic book to graphic novel name change.
Explain.
Because they were originally called comic books, which
Sure.
made sense given their original context, because they were literally just books of comic strips.
Okay.
And then as they developed and people realized, hey, these don't have to just be silly cartoons. We can actually tell, like, serious stories with this. The word comic book didn't exactly fit because strictly by, like, part of the way I've been thinking about this.
Yeah, but that's a substance difference.
Well, yes, it's changed. I would argue.
Yeah, it's a substantive change.
Well, yeah, but sure, but like calling them television shows is also equally inaccurate because they're no longer on television.
I see what you mean.
So my
Yeah.
point is, if you were the part of the way I've been thinking about it is, it's like if you were to explain the concept to an alien who understood English. So imagine you're in the strange comic books, and you're trying to explain to one of those people, like, hey, what's a comic book? They would think, well, if they know what the word comic and book means, they would assume it was like a joke book or a book of,
Maybe.
and it's like television show. It's like, well, okay, it's a show that's on television, but if it's not on television, is it still a television show?
No, it's a.
It's a what? You could say, well, it's just a series, but like that's so is,
It's an episode series. Again, I would just say.
episodic. Okay, episodic
series.
motion pictures. I don't know, but you also want it to be snappy. You don't want to have to be. It's like, well, what is this? It's a short form episodic motion picture. It's like, well, yes, that's probably the most accurate way to describe it, but no one's going to call them
happy
that.
birthday for the West, the NFC West.
I don't know. I forgot what I was
From the
doing.
both of us. Yeah, we're going after.
I have to
what's
help
his
this
name?
guy.
No, we got to go after
No.
what's his name and get his.
Well, I'm putting this guy in his troop. I've set him to infiltrate his bodyguard ship.
He might as well grab him while you're at it and then put him there too. So
Who's him?
Let's run after the one guy that we actually thought was any sort of merit.
Was it Oshkosh or Ushak?
Nah,
Shadrach?
I feel like
Norsko?
Norsko.
Is Norsko better than Shadrach? Feral Tank? I mean, his name's dumb, but I like the classification Feral Tank. Dark Slayer, he's gone down a point. He calls himself Dark Slayer.
Okay, that's pretty larpy.
It's very large. It's
We
very
can grab
larpy.
him. That's fine.
Whereas he's a dark marksman.
Let's get the tank.
Well, no, I don't care about him. His name's too dumb.
All right.
Um,
He looks.
he looks like the ghoul, actually.
It does.
So again, that's the way I've been thinking about it. It's like, okay, if you were to explain it to an alien who did speak English, but like in a overly
Precise.
yeah, like that's one of like the aliens from the Strange Planet
Yeah.
webcomic. It's like, okay, how would you describe the difference to them in such a way that it would make sense? Because changing it from comic book to graphic novel makes sense, because a graphic novel, it's like, well, what is it? It's a novel made up primarily of pictures. Perfect sense. So
it's a series made up primarily of episodes. It's an episodic series.
No, but everything that's a series could be arguably made of episodes.
No,
Like an episode
movies aren't.
Except
So
like Star Wars calls them episodes. Is that just them being pretentious? Or
Yes,
is that...
it is. George Lucas is a completely different category all of his own.
Okay. I mean, because technically, even if you go back to the Greek, like episode literally just means the stuff that happens between. Well, it's one of those interesting. Because the way etymology sort of you'd think of it, if you don't know the Greek, you'd think, oh, because especially we've like broken the word up into like episodes.
Yeah.
So that you can also then, that's spawned other words, like you call something like a webisode.
Minisode.
Yeah, but it's episode, not episode.
Yeah.
It's literally the dialogue that takes place between the odes of a Greek play. So I mean, I don't know that. So I mean, sure, but calling it episodic is no different than calling it serialized. Those basically mean the same thing.
Serial series seems a little bit redundant.
So yeah, that's my point. Is I don't know what it is. Short form serialized mini series. I don't know.
No, it's not a mini series. That's a full series. So I just say series. That to me makes the most sense.
Yes, but series is too non-specific.
I don't agree.
You could have a series
specific enough.
Well, because a series is anything that comes one after the other is a series.
Yes, but unlike something that is self-contained. Oh well, I mean therein lies your.
You have a You could have a series
one
of manufactured objects. That's why they have serial numbers.
Sure, but I mean.
You have electrical circuits that are in series. It's like all series means is one thing after the next.
Well, series in electrical context means more like its meaning changes because it's more about sequence.
Well, yeah, but that's not really a change. That's what series means. It means one thing follows after the next thing.
I suppose.
So anything that has that relationship to anything else can be considered a series.
Suck his brains.
I don't think we even need any more intel.
Well, we're just get intel on the one captain we're gonna take out.
True, I suppose. What's his greatest fear? Well, do we already have all the intel on him?
No, I was talking about the one. Well,
I do. He's afraid of Morgul flies and he's soft-headed.
which means
That's very good to know.
Which means he can handle noodle.
Comes temporarily
smack.
dazed when his rager wears off. Doesn't that happen to a lot of people?
It's getting soft.
You just need the cigarettes.
Wow.
All right, reveal intel on the two opponents, I guess. Who's the highest one? Skoth. Skoth is afraid of nothing.
Damaged by executions, damaged by stealth. So.
Well, these are all generic things. So what's the new term for a TV show similar to calling comic books graphic novels? Because I think that is an example.
Streaming series?
Well, but see that feels temporary, because what if streaming isn't, television was. That's just the issue I take with it is because you're defining it by the technology used to access it. You're not defining it by anything inherent in itself. Like a graphic novel.
Well, but that's the same.
It's
thing
still
with
a graphic
television show. I mean.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, my point is not that it's not that the technology is obsolete. My point is that the technology isn't the substance of the thing. Like a graphic novel doesn't have to be in a printed form to still be a graphic novel, because it's still all it has to contain is pictures and be a narrative. Any narrative made up of pictures is a graphic novel, whether it's printed or digital. So my issue is not that television is an obsolete media and calling it a streaming show. It's like, yes, that makes it more accurate, But the fact that it's streamed isn't part of its identity.
Did you hear that?
No. Neither did you. Bye now. Your gray matter is in good hands. Bye now. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Going for Ushkak. He's okay. He's a ways away.
I don't know. I mean, I still resist calling it show. I just feel like that's a little bit crude.
Well, I do too, but I don't think series is any better.
I feel like series has a little bit more.
I mean, I suppose
distinction and
if
class.
only because of the fact. I mean, if we stick with our ontological definition of a show, a TV show is a short form serialized motion picture, then I suppose calling it a series at least captures the serialized part.
So then the question becomes,
so it's better than show in that
so
it is
the
slightly
question
more
becomes,
accurate.
How do you then communicate the?
How do you communicate the short form motion picture part? Again, succinctly, because you don't want to just call it a short form serialized motion picture. Even though that's probably what, like, if I was describing it to an alien, that's what I'd say. But that isn't what we call it. And then he'd ask us why our language is so inefficient. I'm supposed to be going into a big rock, according to the map. Okay, I gotta go all the way around this place. Looks like this is the right way. So I don't know.
I don't know.
Because I don't want to keep using the term television.
No, I agree.
But
It's not-
calling it streaming, I think it's the same issue. It's like I don't want to define it by the technology used to access it. I want to define it by its own inherent characteristics.
Well, then you'd have to use motion picture. I mean, that's really.
Well, sure. Well, no. Well, but
Or video series. That's a decent definition. I mean,
I suppose it's not very catchy, though.
it's the best we've come up with so far.
Video, because
Because video series could also mean like YouTube series, whatever. I mean, there's many.
well, yeah,
things
that's
that
all.
are
That's
tech-
why I don't know that I.
That's not a bad
It's
thing.
a little too broad.
I feel like it's fairly.
Because a
accurate.
video series does, again, going back to strict definitions, any series of videos.
Yes, but they
So-
have to be in series.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't necessarily imply that they're a narrative. You know, some guys, a sequence of vlogs that some guy creates could be considered a video series as long as they're numbered.
Sure.
And I wouldn't tell someone that that's what I was
Well,
referring
it would
to.
be a bad video series, but a series.
No, it wouldn't be a bad video series. It would be a video series. Because that doesn't capture any of the artistic part of the thing. Because obviously you could have, because there's this actually now I've just something I've never actually considered up until now is that the other wrong thing that's an issue with calling things television shows. Why do you have a fancy mark above your head? What's with you? I don't know what that accomplished, but he's got a mark on him, so I did something. Because a TV show doesn't even necessarily imply that it's like a narrative-based thing. You know, The Real Housewives is a TV show, but you wouldn't call it a work of art.
Yeah.
So I think it has to be a kind of video narrative, for lack of a better term. Like it's the telling of a story through the medium of video. Sorry. But then again, that's the question of like, well, what qualifies as a narrative? Because I guess technically speaking, Real Housewives is a narrative. It's just a sucky narrative about sucky people, but that counts.
I feel like his smile is the best part about his.
He's got a winning smile.
He's got a winning smile. He does.
Well, not for long he won't. Oh!
I'm a good shot. No, I'm a
Okay.
good shot. You can run. You can
What is that?
but my bolts will
I think he's
still
projecting a little bit.
So
Stab him in the shoulder. I'm a great shot, don't you know? I don't think it's relevant anymore, pal. Okay, you ain't great at nothing, pal.
Suck him up.
I'm trying. His friends are trying to stop me. No, 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 no.
Face. Da da da.
Not you. Or you. Get away. Ah! Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ooh. Come on now, pal. Yay. Now, kill your friends.
No harm will come to you. I am your ruin.
Oh, well, okay. That you didn't... Your friends are already dead. All right, that was a good talk. Come back here a sec. Let me tell you what to do.
Submit to me.
I'm gonna tell you to be glue.
Yeah.
Well, I can't infiltrate because the other guy's already infiltrated.
Well, yeah, you can infiltrate twice. We did it with the
Well,
other
not-
guy.
I think because this guy's infiltration isn't complete yet. That's like a
that's
mission
what
I've
you
got to actually do. We'll keep you in reserve.
All right. Well, now
We'll
we're
train
ready,
you
so-
up. Let's give you something. What does this do? Followers level by 1. That's not much. Fire weapon, poison weapon. You seem like a... Nah, he looks like a poisony kind of guy. Especially with the bolts. Shoot somebody from a distance, poison, that makes sense. So it seems like we're not answering this question. It's an age-old dilemma. Gonna have to leave it open for time to tell.
Picture series, that doesn't work.
Well, because that could just be like any photography series. Big series of images.
Well, that's why I say video series is a fairly accurate.
Yes, it's not that it's inaccurate. I think it's a little too broad, though, because it means that any video format that is put in series could then qualify. So you could go on vacation, take a bunch of videos and post them on YouTube, and that's a video series.
Narrative video series.
That's better. It adds more words, though, so it loses the succinctness. Video
sure.
narrative feels awfully academic.
Well, video narrative also doesn't then include the serialized portion.
True.
So I think the closest you're going to get is probably narrative video series.
Yeah, but that's one word less than just calling it a serialized short form narrative series.
No, it's actually significant.
No, well, I guess short forms.
And the 6 you just
No,
used.
serialized short form. I guess
Precisely half.
short form. I'm thinking of as a hyphenated word, so I guess that maybe doesn't count. Because the problem is, it have to be something that actually takes root. Like the change to graphic novel made sense. People adopted that because it made sense.
Were you trying to change entire cultural subgenre?
Yes, because I'm tired of saying it the wrong way. I don't know.
I think that it's stuck to be just show or series. That is what
Well, now, because what
on a colloquial level, that's what people call it.
generally, but well, because the thing that also interested me is when I looked up the Annie Awards, which is basically like the Emmys but for animation specifically. But they're not actually just for TV. They actually separate it into feature. They called them feature and series. So it's animated
Feature
film.
generally means feature length.
Well, yeah, that's so it's an animated movies versus animated shows, and they had awards for each category. So I mean, and you could, in the example of Arcane, many people have called it an animated series. True. What would the equivalent be if it's not animated, though? Because I don't think the animation would you. Because I mean, video series,
which is we're back to video series.
but even animation is considered a video, so it is so. An animated series versus, I guess, a live-action series.
Yeah, but that's not what Arcane would be.
Well, no, I'm not. If it doesn't have to be, because to me, I mean, an animated show versus a live-action show are not substantively different. They're both. I mean, they are artistically different. I'm not trying to say that they're the same thing.
Rendering, obviously.
But they occupy the same artistic niche, where it's like what you're doing is you're moving a sequence of still images to create the illusion of motion to tell a story.
Yeah.
Whether that's live action images of real people or animated drawings doesn't matter. Doesn't change that definition.
Agreed. Yeah, I
I
mean,
guess you could just call it a narrative series, but like even a book series, then it would be that.
yeah, that's why I was saying narrative video series is about the closest you'll probably get as far as
But that also, I'm looking
NVS.
for a broad category. Like we have the term cinema to refer to films. So it's like cinema is the art of filmmaking, broadly speaking. What is with you people and your weird head bubbles? I want to know what this symbol above your head means.
Click on him.
I can't. Click on him, I'll just hit him. I don't know, it weirds me out. Well, seems
I
like
don't
we
know.
won't be solving this conundrum.
Well, I mean, I don't know that there's really much solution to it if cultural
Well, because
development
they
is kind of-
went from comic books to graphic novels. It's 2 words, so I'd consider that to be about as succinct as you have to get for it to catch on.
Okay.
So I guess video series would count, but I just think that that's too broad.
Well, I mean,
Also, but I
by
suppose
your argument, graphic novel could also be. Well, I don't
well, it
know.
has to be is a novel made up of images,
Yeah.
or primarily made of images. Obviously, it can still have text, but where actually is this mission to help my guy? Infiltration. Here it is. But then I suppose even graphic novels don't have an overarching term in the same way like cinema. You wouldn't. I'm not sure what you'd call the art form of graphic novels other than just graphic novels.
Something just.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm asking too much. But this has been the conundrum I've been puzzling, and I haven't gotten anywhere, and it seems like we're not going to get anywhere either. Because I guess what I want to be able to say is you can say about a good movie, going back to the Arcane example again, you would say this is one of the greatest movies ever made.
Okay.
Because a movie like you wouldn't. I guess you could call like Arcane the greatest series ever made, but that's too broad though, because you're not referring to all series ever. You're referring to all
Video series.
I guess, but I don't. That opens the door to too many things that technically are video series that aren't what I'm talking about.
Like what?
Well, things that are not artistic. Like, because
Okay.
literally anything on YouTube
Can
that
we
comes.
just take a moment and appreciate the stones on Hush Chris?
Well, we shamed him once, but he's recovered from that. He's still called the traitor, though. I'm still a little bit leery of him. He is a higher level, though, so remember that size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade. Stealing a line from Darkest Dungeon.
You'll be in the dirt in no time.
All right, I forgot I don't actually have any control over these. Or do I? Ooh, he took that on the chops. Do I actually have any impact in this fight? That actually is a valid question. I don't even know if I have impact. Is this just something we have to watch, or like does me pressing buttons do anything? Woo! Well, that seems to be going well. Ooh! Ooh! It's pretty extreme rigor mortis. Yay! Good on you, Hoshgrish. So, we got one guy in the ranks of this other war chief. So, I think that means we can go up against him now. Get Ashcan.
Should we add one more?
I mean, I guess we can stack the deck.
Shock.
Stack that deck. He's got some stones too, I'd like to point out. Alrighty. I guess you could just call it like one of the best You could call it the best animated series of all time. But see, that's too narrow.
Is it?
I think so, because it isn't just one of the best animated series of all time. It's, in my opinion, one of the best short-form serialized short motion picture series of all time. But I don't know how to say that more succinctly.
Video series. I don't.
Because that's too broad.
How?
Because
The only thing it's missing is narrative, and I feel like that's kind of given based on.
it's not though. Not if you were to say to an alien you were watching a video series, they would think that all that meant was any set of videos that come in a pack. You could create these. We make video series at that point, and I'm not going to put them up against Arcane
You could. Again, it would be a poor scale.
because these are not artistic. I don't think the point of them is not.
It's a form of art.
No, it's a form of entertainment, and they're not the same.
Well, to thread art versus
I
entertainment
don't think
is
that's. I don't think
difficult.
I'm being semantic there. I think there's a.
It's a little semantic.
I think there is a pretty significant. Art is not just. I mean, entertainment can be anything. Just about. Like, I don't think sports are art, but they are entertainment.
Well, I guess that's a valid point.
All right, so now we got to help Ushak get in here. So I don't think I'm being unreasonable by making that delineation, and I don't think video series makes that delineation. Just any series of videos, and that's not what I'm trying to discuss. I'm trying to talk about artistic motion picture narrative, or I don't know. And this also, not that it matters, it's just what I've been thinking about, because I was thinking I could maybe find something. Is that a harpoon? Oh, good. This means, because we wanted this guy to die anyways. He's a shaman. He's got some kind of macrame weapon. He's got Karagors. That ain't fair. Do I have any, because this is almost set up to be like a fighting game scenario here. But I don't actually have any impact on the fight, as far as I can tell. Me pressing
The
buttons.
fact that we upgraded him to poison, I think, is helping him a lot, because if you watch...
Well, but also these guys are low level too, compared to him.
Dear me.
Ooh. I don't think that would work, but okay. I don't think you could use a crossbow to decapitate a guy. But I appreciate the chutzpah. Okay, well that was real easy. This guy's
Now
got
we
more
have two.
bodyguards than he needs.
Now we can take him out.
Alrighty, Ashcan.